Across the United States, a deep sense of political fatigue is taking hold among voters who once viewed Donald Trump as a symbol of change and disruption in Washington. What initially felt like a bold challenge to the political establishment has, over time, turned into weariness for many Americans. The constant stream of controversy, inflammatory statements, and headline-dominating conflicts has created an atmosphere of nonstop tension, leaving people emotionally drained and increasingly disengaged from political debate. Instead of feeling energized, many voters now describe feeling overwhelmed by the chaos that has come to define the Trump era. This exhaustion is especially visible in everyday conversations across households, workplaces, and community gatherings, where Americans express a desire for calm leadership rather than confrontation. Issues such as rising prices, healthcare access, education, and public safety are weighing heavily on families, and there is growing frustration that these concerns are often drowned out by political drama. For a significant portion of the public, Trump's confrontational style no longer feels like strength but a distraction from the practical governance they believe the country urgently needs. Another powerful driver of this growing disillusionment is the lasting impact of Donald Trump's conduct during and after his presidency. Many Americans believe that his repeated challenges to democratic institutions, election processes, and long-standing political norms have done real damage to national trust. The events surrounding contested elections and the refusal to accept outcomes continue to resonate, leaving voters concerned about the stability of the country's democratic system. For moderates and independents, this behavior raised alarms about leadership that prioritizes personal power over institutional integrity. At the same time, Trump's ongoing legal battles and investigations have become an unavoidable part of his public image. Court appearances, indictments, and legal defenses frequently dominate news cycles, reinforcing the perception that his personal controversies consume more attention than national policymaking. Even among former supporters, there is a growing sense that the country cannot afford years of governance overshadowed by legal turmoil and social division. For these voters, the promise of law and order now feels undermined by constant legal drama, pushing them to reconsider whether Trump represents progress or prolonged instability for America. Economic realities are playing a central role in shaping public opinion against Donald Trump. While he often emphasizes past economic achievements, many Americans feel that his current messaging does not address the financial pressures they face today. Rising costs for housing, healthcare, education, and everyday goods are squeezing household budgets, leaving voters more concerned with tangible solutions than political rhetoric. For middle and working class families, the ability to make ends meet is far more pressing than revisiting old political grievances or partisan battles. This economic anxiety is particularly pronounced among suburban voters, younger generations, and independents who feel disconnected from the nostalgic narratives that Trump frequently promotes. They seek leaders who understand modern economic challenges and can offer realistic, actionable policies to improve living standards. Moreover, these voters are increasingly frustrated with what they perceive as repetitive political theatrics, preferring candidates who focus on forward-looking plans rather than personal controversies. In this environment, Trump's style, once seen as energetic and assertive, now risks being perceived as out of touch with the pressing concerns of everyday Americans. The growing sentiment that America is done with Trump reflects more than dissatisfaction with a single political figure, it signals a broader desire for change and stability in the country's leadership. Across diverse communities, voters are expressing a hunger for leaders who prioritize unity over division, competence over controversy, and long-term solutions over headline-driven theatrics. There is an increasing demand for governance that addresses the practical needs of citizens: affordable healthcare, secure jobs, reliable infrastructure, and safe communities, rather than fueling ongoing political drama. This shift is evident not only among traditional opposition groups but also among independents and even some former supporters who now prioritize stability and forward-looking policies. The sense of urgency stems from the perception that the nation has spent too long caught in cycles of conflict and polarization, and that America's future requires leadership capable of bridging divides rather than deepening them. While it remains uncertain how this sentiment will shape upcoming elections or long-term political trends, One thing is clear: a significant portion of the American public is ready to move past the Trump era and embrace a period of calmer, more constructive governance.